Hey everyone, it's Patty from Deep Space Sparkle, and I want to talk to you about my favorite subject, art and books. Now I have my very favorite books in front of me, and I know I get a lot of questions from you asking me what books should I read in the art room, what books are great for older kids, what books are great for younger kids. So I'm going to start off and I'm going to list about 10 books here, and I'm just going to show you my favorite, Beautiful Oops. Absolutely, you probably already heard of this book. It's by Barney Salzberg, and what it is, it's a very interactive book that explains how art can be beautiful even though you made a mistake. So how perfect is that for the art room? Now, the only problem or the negative to this book, if there could be one, is that it's so interactive and so engaging that the children want to participate and hold the book themselves. And so what I tell them, I read the book to anywhere from kindergarten up to second grade, and I tell them that after we finish the art project, they can go back and they can look through this book together as a group or in pairs. I have a couple of other books that I love to read kind of on the first day, and these are The Dot and Sky Color, and they're both by Peter Reynolds. Now he kind of has the monopoly on the most amazing first day art books, and these are really good for both of them. The Dot pretty much has its own national holiday with International Dot Day, so it's pretty hard not to read this book. There are so many other artists that you can tie into the Dot and International Dot Day, which comes in early September, and it's a time where everyone decorates their art room, or classroom teachers do a circle or concentric circle project, and this is a great book to read before it. It's almost kind of like a required reading, actually. So you can do so many different projects. A Kandinsky project, a concentric circle, works really well with this. Now, you can literally use this book for any age group depending on the complexity of the art project, but it really is geared towards a younger audience. Sky Color is a little bit more specific when you want to teach a child that even though they might perceive a color, like the sky to be blue, that the sky can be all sorts of different colors. So if you're teaching a lesson on color, you can wait until not the first day of school, but maybe the second or third month to read this book, and just to introduce the color or the concept that color doesn't have to be exactly what you expect. For older kids on the first day of school, I have this this Museum of Modern Art publication. It's called Lines, and it's not by any specific author or illustrator. And here it is upside down because I obviously use it a lot. And it kind of goes through all the different lines and kind of the elements of art that you would find in paintings. So it's really a good bridge book for like the second to fourth grade kids. And even though the lines or the sentence structure is really short and simple, the complexity of the images makes it great for older kids as well as younger kids. So I actually really like this because we talk about all of these types of art in the actual art units, like Chagall and Miro and Kandinsky. So they're all there. One of my favorite books that I have read in the art room, probably more than any other book that I have, is Art by Patrick McDonnell. And the reason why I love this is that it shows a little boy, a little artist named Art, and he basically creates art, but it talks about line and color and shape. So they're really the three real basic parts of an art curriculum, and it's a great time to start because at the beginning of the year, I often do a lot of lessons online to get younger children to understand that basically shapes are created by lines. So this is a really great concept, and it's very sweet. And then at the very end, the children take a look at this book and we point out all the different things that Art drew. So excellent book. For slightly older kids, I really like The Museum by Susan Verde. I don't read it a lot to younger kids, but for older kids, it's another one of those bridge books that, older kids don't always like being read to, but it's kind of fun, like second, third grade, to use this book. And then to have these paintings, like this is a Degas and the Van Gogh Starry Night, to have them kind of around the room so that when you're reading the book, the children can find the pieces of art throughout the art room. That's what I've used it for. And you know, it's great, especially if you're going on a field trip to a museum and the children can read this book, or you can read it to them beforehand, and then they can, you know, understand what the museum is all about. It's also a really good book, especially with the new national art standards. And this is a great book on kind of connection and also presenting, because a lot of the visual art standards today have to do with children kind of taking a look at their pieces of art, deciding what makes a piece of art museum quality and worthy of an art show. So this book really kind of ties in with that theme. This is a new book. It's called Shape Shift by Joyce Hesselberth. I hope I have the name right. It's a new book, and actually I just got sent this book last January, and I absolutely love it. So if you're teaching pre-K, kindergarten, first grade, there's no way that you're not going to be teaching about shapes, right? Because that's almost like the fundamental part of an art program. And this book has all of these different great shapes in it, and then it shows you how they can be seen through everyday life. Just a perfect book. Very similar to this book, but it's just slightly more kind of off topic is this one, Shape of My Heart. And Shape of My Heart, you've probably seen me talk about this one before, and I have a lesson actually called The Shape of My Heart. And this has all the different shapes in it as well. It's a little bit less of a story and more of just images. If you're teaching a book just about color, so you're doing a really wild, you know, painted paper project, or you're talking about value, I like having this book on the ledge of my whiteboard. So The Rainbow Book by Kate, oh goodness, Ohrt, O-H-R-T, can't really spell that one. And it's not exactly a story, but it's an amazing visual book to have in the art room so children can leaf through it at their leisure. And it shows all the different colors like pink and red, and I will often take young kids, grade 2 and under, and I'll sit them down, and it says, when I feel red, I am fiery and bold. So it kind of talks about an emotion, and so the children can do it as a writing exercise. How do they feel when they feel orange or blue or purple? Here's kind of an off-topic book, but if you're teaching children, perhaps older kids, 3rd grade and up, about concentric circles or organic shapes or anything found in nature, this is an excellent book. It's not an art book, of course. It's Swirl by Swirl. It's a book about nature, and it just has the most beautiful illustrations in it. And what you can do is kind of show this book to get children's imagination going about how they would see things in nature a little bit differently. And it's just great if you're doing a lesson on line or shapes, and you can see it goes through the just the different elements of nature, above ground, below ground. It's all really very cool. I love the fiddleheads. And that's it. These are the books that I would start the year off with. I have a ton of other books on artists. I mean, I have so many, and I have my favorite books. So if you want to listen to more of these videos, if you want to learn more about how you can incorporate these books into your art lessons, join the Members Club. I have a free webinar coming up on Thursday, August 25th, and then a few after that. So head on over to Deep Space Sparkle to get all the information.